Any of you read that book? Pure Revolution? I recommend that book to you. I wanted to bring it, I forgot to bring it to show it to you. He does deal with that, I forget the name of the author, but if you Google or go to Amazon.com, you can see Pure Revolution. There is a lot of, and in that Pure Revolution, he shows the whole Kinsey research. Are you familiar with, older people are probably familiar with the Kinsey research. Kinsey was a professor in the University of Indiana who was chosen to write some kind of a course on human sexuality, and it just from there it went on. Kinsey, I forget his first name, his research is the first one that actively promoted gay and lesbian lifestyle in America, which greatly influenced. It was done in the 50s and the 60s. It took a long time to catch hold. Now they have conclusively shown that he misrepresented his data. His research is now proven to be faulty research. But that influence, and Kinsey was the intellectual power behind this whole thing, and Playboy publication and other publications pushed it into the American society. This is a phenomenon that had just happened beginning in the 60s. So my answer would be, in the creation, God created man and woman, female and male, not gay and lesbians. In the sinful world of distortion, there is possible, but there are so many people who have come out of gay and lesbian lifestyle. So many ministries. Exodus ministry is one of them. You may be familiar with Exodus ministry. And so there are so many people who have been set free. But it has now become a political issue. You know, it is an issue that is dividing the whole country. And I'm so sorry to see the Democratic Party stand. If any of you are Democrats, forgive me, but I cannot agree with that. To have that in their platform, I cannot agree as a Bible-believing Christian. What Bible or your opinion on birth control? Very, very, very loaded question. Bible doesn't speak about issues such as that. We cannot ask Bible to answer a question which is not addressed in the Bible. God's desire is that man and woman multiply and fill the earth. That's God's desire. And no child is unwanted. Every child is precious. But parents, should they decide how many children they should have? I don't believe Bible speaks against it, but Roman Catholic Church would disagree with me. Roman Catholic Church is very firm in their teaching that birth control is wrong. Again, this is my opinion only, because I don't see. If I go with Bible, as Bible stands, when it says fill the earth, have as many children as possible, is what Bible would say. But how, if a parent, father, mother, cannot afford to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 children, does God expect them to have? I wouldn't say so. Because I would say God would want me to take care of my children, provide for them, give them good education, provide for them. If I'm incapable of doing that, I think it will be irresponsible on my part to have so many children. But if I'm capable of having children, I should. So I think it is a personal decision you have to make on your own. I don't think God would condemn you if you decide to have 2 or 3 children instead of 7 or 8 children. That is my personal opinion, and you know, I cannot say that I know the answer fully. But God loves children, I know that. I hope that has satisfied your answer. But Roman Catholics are very firm on their teaching in this. They look upon any form of birth control as not according to God's will. Is dating right for Christians? What about arranged marriage? How do I know it is the right person for me? Very, very important question, particularly that last question. How do I know it is the right person for me? Is dating right for Christians? Again, Bible doesn't answer this question because Bible's word was different. Bible's word was different. I wish Bible answered all our questions. But we have to be honest and say, it does not. And this question would not have been asked in Kerala 50 years ago. Because our culture was different, very different. But today, even in Kerala, this question is asked. When I go speak to youth like you, this question comes up there. Is dating right for Christians? Now again, the answer to that question would depend on what do you mean by dating. And I'm not trying to avoid answering it. I'll take a moment to explain. If you will look at the history of dating in America, again, that book I referred to you, the Purity Revolution, the Pure Revolution. I will bring that book tonight and give you the right heading and just remind me to bring that book. I wanted to bring it here today. If you look at the history of dating in America, you will see something very, very drastically different from what is happening today. Dating in America, before the atmosphere of prosperity that took over, I'm talking about before Second World War, was very different. Dating was always done in the house of the parents. A young man, suppose I have a daughter, and a young man is interested in my daughter. First of all, he will ask me permission. Can I see her? And if I approve, give her permission, that young man will come to my house while my wife and I are there. And they will sit in the corner of the house and talk to get to know each other. This was American dating before Second World War. Not the two of them going away alone somewhere and doing whatever they please. Sitting under the supervision of the parents, talking to each other. Society changed in America, particularly after Second World War. Parents became too busy. Mothers don't used to work in pre-Second World War America. It was very rare. Now both parents work. Now dating has become something that two young people do, whatever they want to do, alone. Now, is the first model I talked about okay, in my opinion? Sure, it's okay. Talking to a young lady or a young man under the supervision of the parents. You know, I wouldn't expect you guys to marry like our generations did. Our generation, the father or the mother said, you marry that girl and you did it. Whether you like the girl or the boy or not, you did it. Because the word of the parents were the law. I wouldn't expect you to do that. I would expect you to get to know the man or the woman or who marries. But only in this sense in which Bible doesn't answer. This is my personal opinion. This is my personal opinion. We have two sons. The older boy is married and the younger boy is almost engaged. Now, did they date like the typical dating that is happening in America? No, they didn't. And the typical dating that is happening in America today is, in my opinion, very, very conducive to all kinds of sexual immorality. I heard Billy Graham speak in 1979. I attended 1979 Urbana conference, and Billy Graham was one of the main speakers. I heard him speak about his dating of Ruth. And if there is one man of God, one famous man of God in America who has kept his life pure, it is that man. All of you know that, right? By the way, if you haven't read his biography, read it. Has anybody read Billy Graham's biography? You need to read, only one person here. You need to read, 2 people, very good. You need to read it. Just as I am, thick volume, worth reading it. And in his speech in Urbana, he said this: when Ruth and I were dating, we made a covenant with God. And the covenant was this, that they will not touch each other. They will not touch each other. And he said, whenever they went together out, he would always take his Bible with him. And when they sat, wherever they sat, he will always put the Bible between the two. I have no objection to such dating. No objection to such dating. Covenant, we will not touch each other. How many young people will make such a covenant? So, I hope I'm not getting into trouble with any of you parents. But we cannot expect children to behave the way our generation behaved. Things are different. What about arranged marriage? Well, what about arranged marriage? Look at the percentage of success between arranged marriage and, of course, all marriages are arranged marriages. Even if you date, it has to be arranged. But, of course, in the way in which we traditionally define. What interest does the parent have? What's the interest that I have about my children? What's my desire that I have for my children? That they should suffer in life? Their marriage should be horrible? Is that my desire? No. My desire is that my children must have the best marriage possible. So when I look for or suggest that they meet somebody, am I going to suggest that they meet somebody who is lousy? No. The advantage of arranged marriages is that the family has resources to know a lot of people, and the family will look for the best possible. Would they always succeed? No. No. They are human beings. I know many arranged marriages that ended up failure. I know that. Not because they didn't try, something happened. And what I tell young people when I speak on this issue is, the most important thing you need to do, if you're planning to get married, you need to fast and pray. Not 2 days before your marriage. Begin to fast and pray, I would say, once you're a teenager. Begin to fast and pray. If you plan to marry, God, give me the kind of wife you want me to have. Give me the kind of husband you want me to have. I leave the choice to you. Help me. I leave the choice to you. You bring that person into my life. I told this to both of our boys when they were very small. Pray. And then God will bring. If God arranges your marriage, I can guarantee you that is going to be the best marriage. Best marriage. And if you will pray, God will arrange it. Because His promise is, ask